Mid-eyes on Baus! Mid-eyes on Baus!
I can't with this guy, man.
Arrow! Oh, big arrow from Crowny! Yes, Flash. Big snipe from the boy!
That's how you get a team diff. Okay, Los Ratones smurfed NLC. They destroyed EMEA Masters. And there are still people out there who think, this is a stream team. They'd never hang in the LEC. Brother, do I have some clips for you. Yo, that is sick. I think that Los Ratones have been a professional grade roster since day one. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break down 3 things that I think show that they're the real deal. The first is that they have real, tangible world-class experience. The second are some very hungry upstarts. And the third is Baus, who's just a f***ing unicorn. We'll get to Baus. So my inspiration for doing this video was basically this Just John tweet. For those who don't know, John is the coach of Nord esports, which is one of the teams that Los Ratones played like ad nauseum over the course of NLC. And what he basically does is just sort of like break down these like really minute sort of built-in instincts that the players on Los Ratones have that like make the difference at this level of play, right? This like slightly below professional level of play.
This game, Los Ratones need to come from multiple different directions. You got people coming from here. This is not even a planned fight and they're still doing it. People coming from here, Nemesis coming over from here perfectly, Baus coming over from here. Beautiful. But this is the difference with like these super experienced players. Like they'll make these windows happen. And in ERLs, mostly we struggle with this kind of stuff. But that's why it's so OP to have people like Reckless or people like Santorin and Treats or those kind of people on your ERL team. Like you're gonna find windows and you're gonna execute comps that no one else can.
Because this team has experience, and I think people forget that. Let me show you this Nemesis play to really demonstrate what I'm talking about. So Nemesis is being ganked by the Blitzcrank here, right? He doesn't know Blitz is here, he doesn't have a ward, right? He's walking down to the brush. Terrible timing. He's dead. You look at this, even Cajal says it, he's dead. Now watch what he does when the Sejuani comes to ult.
He should be dead here, Nemet. Goes for the stun, doesn't reach, dodges out.
Now you think, what does that matter? Nemesis is dead no matter what. It matters.
Flash E! Knock up! Q! R! It's good! Follow from Velja is nice! That's a 1-for-1!
I know this is like a really minor thing, but hear me out. E connects onto Syndra, right? Now, he stuns this Blitzcrank back, right? Sejuani Qs forward. Ult, she hides the animation for the ult in the queue. Nemesis still has the wherewithal to sidestep it, and what happens? The ult misses the Syndra. Because it misses the Syndra, it doesn't stun her. And because it doesn't stun her, it doesn't create the freezing field around her. So because the field doesn't activate around her, the flashing, dashing Rakan is able to come in, get the knock-up, and this one's a bit of a stretch, but I think that Velja is actually able to queue in here and get the ultimate onto the Corki because there was no freezing field. And it makes this entire exchange possible. And bro, it does not end there because Nemesis had the f***ing series of his life in this tournament. Here's a great example also, same game, Flash comes out from the Blitzcrank, Hook comes, connects, right? Gets knocked up, goes back to his tower. Ashe is TPing home while this happens, right? As soon as Crowny gets in the fountain, the arrow comes out. The arrow connects, Velja already knows that arrow is coming, and now they've turned a gank onto a kill on the Corki. In your head, you can justify to yourself, you say like, oh, it's just these tiny little micro outplays. The problem is that when that happens like 20 times in a row, and then you've lost a series 3-0, you start to look back and think, that's how you get a team diff. Now, we talked about Nemesis, we talked about Reckless, but there are players on this team who do not have nearly that level of experience, and they're the ones I want to talk about. Crowny and Velja, bro, over the last couple of months, these players are just, I have no words. And the best example of this is the game-winning Elder fight in game 1. Skarner makes his way over towards the pit right here, right? He gets into the pit. Immediately, there's the call that the Skarner has to be the focus, right? Now, what I want you to pay attention to here is the shot calling from Crowny. Crowny is playing Jhin. He knows the way to burst down this Elder is around the 4th shot. Crowny reloads. He gets 1, 2, 3, and he's holding 4th shot, but here's the problem. Now the Skarner has made his way into the pit. The drag is getting dangerously low. Crowny can't use the 4th shot because he's saving it until it gets down to 2k health because that was the shot call. Now the Skarner initiates onto the Viego, and Viego has no choice but to get out of the pit. Now we've got a 3.3k health Elder, no jungler in the f***ing pit, and their best hope at a smite is the 4th shot. Watch.
I ult MF. We need the Drake.
Yes, we got it!
That is cinema. That is absolute cinema. The confidence of Crowny's shot calling is unparalleled here. And it's the fact that Velja makes the calm decision here. He has flash up. He also has a blast cone, and he opts to do neither. Also, shout out to Reckless for having the wherewithal to ult the ulting MF, so it doesn't peel down the drag, and they're able to come in and execute it. That's literally the game-winning play. They win all of game 1 off this team fight. Bro, can we just give a shout out to Velja? In 3 months, this guy basically went from a veritable unknown to not only a NLC and EMEA Masters winning jungler, but a jungler that could certifiably hang in the LEC. It's crazy. Everybody's talking about this quadra from Velja, and rightfully so, but I want to highlight one part of it that was just like very beyond his ears, bro. Nami gets torn down, has to flash over the wall. Nocturne ult comes in, kills Reckless, right? Now, Velja immediately starts going on the Aurora. Velja hops out of the Aurora ultimate, right? Has the wherewithal to wolf, chase her down, rolls into the bush, and just absolutely deletes her. But this is the like little thing that's hard to notice. Nemesis eats so much damage from this fight, right? That when after Velja blows up the Aurora, he wants to keep the fight going. When Velja walks forward here with Neme, he could come into this bush. He stops. He doesn't walk forward into this brush because he knows that one, Nemesis is not playing a CC heavy mid laner. He's not playing Syndra. He doesn't have burst stun. And Renekton is a 200 years champion who's going to absolutely 1v2 this fight. They don't have a lot of CC. So what he does is he backs off and he waits for Crowny and Baus to collapse in from the sides. And then he re-engages when the Renekton inevitably realizes, I have to get out of here. And then what happens?
Crowny goes forward. Double knock from Baus in the back line. Crowny hits Bow. Quadra kill for Velja. He's looking for the penta. He's running. Does he have the speed? The knockout. Velja doesn't get the penta. It's a quadra.
You can even hear on the comms how mad Velja is. He's so mad, dude. That play, that deserves a shout out. All right, last but not least, brother, there is so much that I could say about Baus. It's literally a whole other video. But what I will say is that if this tournament showed us anything, it's the trust that has taken shape. For starters, the trust that his teammates have in him. So this was the game when Baus picked Kayn top. I want you to listen to the comms in the draft.
I think I want to play... no.
It's a Kayn game.
Kangel calls it.
Ladies and gentlemen!
Kayn or Renekton?
So he gives them like the Baus pick, and he gives them the real pick. And what does Reckless say?
I'm picking you Kayn, okay?
Kayn.
I feel like Reckless is such a cool dude. I just want to get an ice cream with this guy. Just maybe hit up a Ferris wheel. And of course, what happens when he takes the Kayn? Brother, I can't with this.
Okay. Like, that's not that bad.
So as someone who plays a shit ton of Gwen jungle and top lane, I can tell you that it is a hard matchup for Kayn. This is a hard matchup for him. You can dodge his W super easily with Gwen's E, but watch how Baus plays this. Watch.
Wait, is he gonna start? He's gonna solo kill the Gwen! Flash W, then boom! Look up! Shut down!
Could you imagine? Can we talk about how the Kayn W actually knocks up Cadril IRL? Please watch this.
Kill the Gwen! Flash W, then boom! Look up! Shut down!
But there's also just the trust that Baus has in himself. This is my favorite moment in maybe the history of Los Ratones.
Mid-eyes on Baus! Mid-eyes on Baus! How long he had that? How long he had that?
I'm gonna try to
He's on being 10. Why is he got mid-eyes? Why can't you just buy rendering or some shit?
Guys, I think Cadril needs a break. I'm gonna pull the curtain back for a second. If you had told me 3 months ago that I would one day be recording a video where Baus was in an EMEA Masters final that he was going to sweep on cho'gath building Mej, I would have told you that was created in a laboratory to be put in a Score esports video. I can't with this guy, man. And I know it seems like he's memeing, and he kind of is. But the reality is that this is what makes Baus Baus. This is what makes Los Ratones Los Ratones. This roster has had the ingredients to be professional grade. Honestly, professional grade since day one. They have the experience, they have the hunger, they have the gumption, just that perfect combination of want and resource and ability. And it's not an accident, guys. This team is not a stream team. It's not just, well, they are, but it is. And these are just a couple of the things that make Los Ratones measurably sick.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, hit the sub button and ring the notification bell. For unique bite-sized videos you won't find anywhere else, hit us up on our X, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.